you help me on that?
Your Honor, would you like to do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Would you like to lead us in that?
Pardon me?
Would you like to lead us in that?
Absolutely. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay.
Your Honor, we have provided time this evening for, this afternoon for oral communications, should anybody wish to. There's nobody in the council chambers. We've not received any comments. Alexis Espinoza from the Portable Recorder was notified of this meeting and is on the Zoom with you. I don't know if she wishes to make any comment.
I see. Alexis, would you like to make any comment to that regard? Okay. See that there is no comment, so we've not received anything electronically. We will go ahead and move.
Thank you, Your Honor. And this meeting was called at the request of Mayor Flores on an immediate request the city received today shortly around noon today from CAL FIRE, indicating that 250 plus California National Guard personnel and other personnel have been assigned to the Sequoia Fire Complex and are looking at where they can establish a base camp, which, as the council may be aware, we were assisting CAL FIRE in storing some of their equipment. I think they've had maybe up to up to a couple of dozen equipment at some particular time. But they are looking at where they can establish as a base of operations, which is also in concert with the airport and the fairgrounds, which is also serving in support functions for the fire incident, if the sports complex could serve as a base camp. City code prohibits sleeping or camping over evening unless authorized by the city council, and has been the history of any time there is allowed for overnight operation or camping, if you would allow. It comes with the approval of the city council. It is not defined what this period of time will be. I know that Chief Lapierre today was up in the Hill visiting our personnel and also reviewing status of things. And he can provide a brief report if he'd like. There is a lot of work to do. It's still a lot of firefighting that needs to happen with, and given this personnel that's been assigned is due to the lack of resources that are available statewide. And maybe Chief Lapierre, do you want to speak to that just for a moment?
I sure can. Thank you, Mr. Lawless. I was at Sequoia Crest today. I was in Camp Nelson, and just in the Sequoia Crest Alpine Village area, there is a lot of work to be done where there's a lot of burned trees. You know, the cabins are one thing, but there's a ton of hot spots. The fire service is stretched, very thin at this point. And it is a commonplace to bring in the National Guard to help and assist with those hot spots and put them in the positions that they can, because there's a lot of area to cover of their steep terrain. I saw our crews today. I saw Strike Team 5810 Alpha, which is the Portavo's rig on it. So 5-engine strike team with a strike team leader. They're in good spirits. They actually time out. They've been up there almost this Saturday will have been up there 21 days. To give you a report on Chief Cochran, which is still out. He's assigned to the Creek Fire, and he's been out for 30 days. We'll probably come home Saturday as well. But this is a common theme when you see national disasters, and that's exactly what we have, where you have cooperators from federal, state, county, and local government all together pulling their weight. And I'm very happy to see the National Guard here, and it is a very common thing to make a request that they are. I'm available for questions if you have any.
A couple of concerns of staff. Well, one being not concerned, there really isn't any, there's no activities planned for the facility, so there is not any interference with any of league schedules or things of that nature, given the COVID restrictions current. We do anticipate there to be some impact to the facility itself with that level of personnel. Mr. Moore's already commented about needing to make sure sprinklers aren't running and things of that nature, which is customary that CAL FIRE is a good partner in this regard and in mitigating any impacts that they have in the use of their facilities. I would anticipate that there would be some type of a contract that would be entered into between the city and CAL FIRE in the use of the facility. That's an anticipation that Chief Lapierre has.
I would imagine the fairgrounds has got to have some contract that's going on. Jesse Estrada is the unit chief for CAL FIRE. Donnie, was that request made through a different individual than Jesse Estrada?
Yes, it was. I'm trying to recall the gentleman's name I spoke to today. I could probably pull it up, but it was not him.
Could you text that to me later? And,
Yes.
Because I believe that, well, just meeting in, was it yesterday, I was in the briefing for Team 6 for the west side of this complex fire, and meeting with the incident commander and the deputy incident commander, and they were talking about that the last fire they were on was 70 million, this one's at 40 million and climbing, but about the remediation that they do, and I'll give you an example, if they're having to, the fire comes down and burns a fence on a rancher's land, then that's the rancher's issue. But if they put in a backfire to protect his property, but burn his fence in from a fire that they set, they have to put that fence back to what it was before. So if we were to let them use the property, I would think they would have the same policies and procedures to do that, but we could confirm absolutely before signing on for the full bill.
His first name was Jared. I'll get his last name. His first name is Jared.
Go ahead and text it to me if you would, and a number that he called you on, and I'll be the liaison for it if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do appreciate the council meeting on such short notice. We don't, in my experience, have not had a meeting like this, known as a no-notice meeting, given emergency circumstances. The National Guard did not have a contingency plan. They just have folks that were being sent here to be assigned to the fire. And they are very appreciative of the council taking the initiative to schedule this meeting to consider the request.
I was just going to add too that I agree that it would be good to get some kind of MOU just so that there's the expectations of the parties are clarified, and that can be provided to the council at a later date. Thanks.
I have a question.
Please.
So, Chief, will they be camped near them, have tents and staying there?
I would, they don't usually house them in the open. The National Guard, I've not been on an incident with them, but I would imagine they're probably gonna have something to that nature of, I like to call them yurts or something, and then they'll probably have some sort of air conditioning device hooked up to it. There's also sleep trailers that they do, that they bring in, and those you see on a lot of fires, but because they're bringing in 250 of them, and mobilizing the National Guard, they're usually a self-contained unit. They bring everything with them, and they're not, they may be eating their food at a different location, but I doubt it. I bet it's tents and what you envision a military camp to look like, minus beds. I don't believe they'll have any guns out there. Probably lots of McLeod, shovels, and picks.
I remember for the pier fire, they were at the fairgrounds and they did have tents out there, so that's what I was wondering.
And they're very organized, and they'll be placed in different positions. They're probably going to be brought up for constructing hand line and putting out hot spots on the yeah.
If you can find out too, if there's anything that they need from the community, maybe we could put out a issue to let the community know that they need this or that.
What I'll do too is once I'm gonna call Jesse Estrada, which is the unit chief, and I'll get whoever the logistics officer is for CAL FIRE. And there's gonna be a PIO team that's out there on Team 6, and I'll get with them to find out who we make that contact with and see if they get needs. I think once they get settled and they're in there, would be wait until they're all put together and settled and they're on doing operational periods, whether 24 or 12-hour shifts. And I'll make that reach out if that's okay.
Thank you.
That would be good, because I would echo that sentiment too, because it would be important. And as again, when they set up for the Pure Fire, everything is organized. Everything is pretty on task. And it is an emergency. It is something that we just need to make sure is, like legal counsel stated, to follow it up with an MOU and all the paperwork that needs to be done to adhere. But this is a big task, and short on fire staff as well, that so the numbers are decreasing as far as the help and the assistance. So anything will be grateful for the protection.
I have a, will we or can we notify the adjacent property owners just so they can find out from us rather than seeing it happen and then it won't create any undue attention or any speculation as to what it is?
Certainly we can, Young's Trucking would be adjacent, and there's some isolated private residences in the area. We already network with them based on, we do water quality testing for them, given our, there's about a half dozen residences there.
That would be good, the communication, to hear it from us would be good.
So are you ready for a motion? If we are, I would motion to approve it with the condition that there'd be at some point MOU that would be brought back to the council at a later meeting.
And I would second that. And no discussion? Okay, call for vote, please.
Councilmember Garola,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Reyes,
Aye.
Mayor Flores,
Aye. Okay, it passes 3-0.
Again, like to,
And
again, thank you very
Pardon
much to
me?
the council. Thank you very much to the council for meeting on such short notice in the emergency request.
well, it was important, and it was important to resolve. See that there is no further discussion and everything else. It is now 3:15, and we will adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.